my one and only story, and it's all about that Cybertruck.
You should have just made the price $69,420.
Yeah, really.
Because 69 and 420. Do you get the joke, guys? He's funny, right? I think the most disappointing thing about it has always been just the way it looks. But I guess some people like it.
Yeah, it looks atrocious.
You mean the truck's not indestructible?
They did shoot it with a gun.
It's a steel panel, but you can still damage a sheet of steel.
If you really want your Cybertruck to look like the original one with a shattered glass, you can buy a sticker to put on the window to make it look shattered.
You're not like, oh, I was going to buy that truck, but it has door handles. Like, if I can't get you out of your car, if your electrical system failed in a crash and I am an emergency responder, I can't save your life.
Right.
You're going to die.
At that point, you better hope that they have a ball bearing.
Right.
To shatter those windows.
But I have a feeling we're going to see a second iteration of this vehicle that's going to be a much more a vehicle.
Hello, how the tech are you? I am historian Matt. I am got a couple other hosts. They'll introduce themselves later. So I'm going to jump straight into my one and only story, and it's all about that Cybertruck. So I got a number of links in the show notes, including a YouTube video of Marcus Brownlee going all over it. But basically what's happening is Tesla starts delivering the Cybertruck. The first 10 were delivered, and further deliveries are months away. So they just did a hand-picked 10 people who pre-ordered and paid for the whole truck. So they delivered those first 10, but they're not really ready to build everything and deliver them. So further deliveries will be a bit away, but we learned a lot this past week in what the Cybertruck is. So I'm going to go over some initial stuff of things that we learned about the Cybertruck. And the big one is it has 30% less range than they first advertised, and it will cost about 30% more. So 30% less range for 30% more money. And it's also based on the original one that we saw way back in the original announcement. The entire truck is about 5% smaller. It was originally sold to have a 500-mile range and a starting price of $40,000 for that. That's for the $40,000 is for the very lowest end, one motor Cybertruck. It would not have that one would not have had 500-mile range. But now the highest range without any extras, which we'll talk about later, but the highest range is now 340 miles, which is not bad. That's on par with other, a little high even for Tesla, other Tesla cars, but not the 500-mile range that we expected. You can add basically a giant battery. They call it a range extender, and but the battery goes into the bed of the truck, so you'd lose almost half your truck bed for $16,000 in addition. And now the lowest price version of the Cybertruck is $60,990. So just less than $61,000. Got a lot of more information, but what do you guys think about those numbers so far?
You should have just made the price $69,420.
Yeah, really.
Because 69 and 420. Do you get the joke, guys? He's funny, right?
Right.
Funny
that might be the
Elon
mid-range
loves
one.
those two numbers. This is I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm surprised by how much he promised. That's those are some hefty promises, and of course they weren't going to hit those targets.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they didn't get the targets. Tesla has been known for over-promising and under-delivering. They pretty much do that all the time. This time it was particularly bad. I think they thought that battery tech would move faster. There's a lot of new battery types coming out that they probably expected to come out earlier. That's my guess.
I think that the it's just the guy who was making the promises is a confabulator.
Okay.
That's my take on it. I don't know. I think the most disappointing thing about it has always been just the way it looks. But I guess some people like it.
Yeah, it looks atrocious. And so there is a reason that we don't build cars out of big sheets of steel. And I know you don't have it in your show notes, so I'll cover it just in this comment. We saw the Cybertruck in a crash test recently, and it does not handle crashes well. Basically, the Cybertruck itself handles a crash great. It barely even dents. But what that means is all that energy of the crash is transferred into you, the driver, and the passenger. If the car is built like a tank and you get in a crash, then you're the one experiencing the crash, not the car. Yeah. And when you get all your bones shattered, you're harder to fix than a car.
But maybe it depends on, maybe Elon just thinks that you are replaceable.
Probably.
Yeah, that's actually
he's got to build those indestructible trucks.
It's interesting because a lot of the other Tesla cars had very high ratings for crash tests and it's not, anything magical about them. It's just because they're electric cars, you can put a big crumple zone in the front, which is basically that frunk. If you do that, it makes the car really safe and front end crashes.
The Cybertruck basically has no crumple zone.
I mean,
it crumples a little, but just it is.
Yeah.
Almost all the energy of that crash is going directly into your body. And it's just going to fucking shatter your bones.
Well, you're also forgetting it's going into the other car if you're hitting another car.
Yeah, true.
It's going to destroy that other car.
Yeah, but at least that other car will sacrifice itself to protect the driver.
Yeah.
While the Tesla is just like, the Cybertruck is just like, no, I got to protect this truck. I don't care if your bones turn to dust.
Okay, wow. What else we got on this map?
What else? Okay, we're probably going to have to talk about this a little while, but the bed of the truck is 6 by 4 feet. And that was just kind of surprising. I guess they did actually say there's going to be 6 feet long to begin with. And that is comparable with the F-150, both, I think, the regular pickup truck and the F-150 Lightning. But there's a bit of a problem with it. There is basically, at the front of the bed of the Cybertruck, there's about 6 inches. There's like a 6-inch overhang, and it's kind of part of where the tonneau cover like rolls up into, or kind of not. Like I'm not entirely sure it has to be there, but so it's 6 feet minus 6 inches, so it's really 5.5 feet of bed. If you're going if you need absolute height, you need to keep going up, and you can fit stuff under it a little bit, but it kind of reduces the real amount of the length of the bed. So as I said, it has a tonneau cover. It automatically rolls up. You can, tell it to roll up or roll out. In the Marcus Brownlee video, he actually stands on it. Apparently the tonneau cover can hold up to 300 pounds as long as it's not bouncing up and down, that's its limit. And if it's not completely rolled up, that tonneau cover blocks the rear window. So I'm a little confused on if there's actually a rear view mirror in it, but the rear view mirror would not work with the tonneau cover covering the bed of the truck. But there is the camera out the back, and there's a video feed that goes to the center, screen that all the Teslas have. What do you guys think about that? Thoughts about the bed of the truck?
The bed looks okay. I don't really have any problem with the bed. The little part where it kind of juts out in the front, that's okay to me, because most truck beds have some sort of area where they kind of jut out. Like my truck, for example, has the wheel wells take up a big part of the bed. So that, seems fine. The problem that I have with the bed of the Cybertruck, so when you buy a truck, you are expecting to haul things. Unless, why would you want a truck? No one's going to ride in the bed unless you're willing to get a ticket, because there's no seatbelts in the bed, and you will get a ticket for putting a passenger in the bed of your truck.
Depends on where you are. I think that's legal in certain cases in Florida to sit in the bed of the truck, not on the sides, but in the bed of the truck.
Maybe if you're going very slow, but certainly
I think
not.
You have to be slower drives. Yeah.
The problem that I have with the bed of this truck is that the sides of the bed are ramps. They're inclined. The side of the truck, the side of the beds are at an incline. And that means that you are so limited in what you can carry in the bed of that truck, because there are a lot of things that you would want to put in a truck. A lot of things that I've put in my truck, certainly a number of pieces of furniture that I've put in there. And one of my favorite things that I've ever hauled was this pool table that fit like a glove in the back of my truck. And it's because the walls of my truck are flat. They're at the same level as the bed. They're flat, parallel to the bed, parallel to the floor of the bed. So you can rest things on those walls that are also in that bed. And unless something is also slanted at the same angle as the the Tesla Cybertruck is slanted at, it's not going to fit in that bed if it needs to go over the wall. So you are limited so much in what you can haul in this truck. Like basically you would buy this truck if you want to haul like bales of hay, pretty much it. I mean, obviously there's more, but like, you know, you'd have a tough time fitting like a bookcase into this truck.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like, I mean, there's a lot of things that can fit directly in it, and it doesn't seem to have the wheel hubs. I don't know what you call them. Inside the bed, so you have a little bit more room there, but it is a problem.
You don't have more room. That just means they narrowed the bed.
I think it's higher than the wheels, but I don't know. I thought the 4 feet was.
I'm pretty sure my
normal.
truck is 6 feet by 5 feet, so
Okay.
it's a foot wider. But those wheel wells are about 8 inches on either side. So really, I only get about 4 feet down the middle of the bed, but I have more areas in front of and behind the wheel well than the Cybertruck does. Yeah,
it would limit what you carry for stuff that I would carry, but that's, you know, mostly things like carrying bicycles or something, because we do that a lot here to go over to the trail. It would be fine, except in my case, you know, when my parents have a F-150, and to get my bicycle on the bed of the truck, usually when somebody else's bike or trike is in the truck, I lift it over the side of the bed of the truck to get it in, because that's easier than trying to roll it in. And that would not work with the Cybertruck.
Yeah,
I don't think it would. I haven't tried it, but it'd be like way higher.
Damaging your truck
or my arms. I don't know which would get damaged.
You mean the truck's not indestructible?
They did shoot it with a gun.
It's a steel panel, but you can still damage a sheet of steel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got, Matt?
Speaking of, can you damage a truck? The glass is now like not bulletproof. So I don't know if you remember back when it was. I don't know how you could forget. But when it was first revealed, they said that the glass was bulletproof, and one of the designers, I think it was the same one I have written here, Franz von Holzhausen, I think he originally threw a large ball bearing at the window and shattered it twice, shattered the window. Well, it's not bulletproof anymore. They're not claiming that, but it is shatter resistant or shatterproof. I don't remember exactly how they phrased it. So you can shatter it. And for the demonstration this time, for the release, they didn't throw a ball bearing. They threw a baseball at it, and it survived just fine. That's of course a baseball. But you know, if you really want your Cybertruck to look like the original one with a shattered glass, you can buy a sticker to put on the window to make it look shattered. Any comments on that one before moving on?
Oh man, that's great. I love the idea of the sticker.
I thought the sticker was
it is a joke, but they really do have the sticker from what I can tell. You really can buy it.
So I don't know if you're aware, but like all automotive glass is shatter resistant.
Yeah, I assume so.
So
it's actually
I'm assuming they mean it's more shatter resistant than other automotive glass.
Who knows?
But like that's like why when you buy one of those little like safety devices for your car that has like the thing to cut seat belts, it has this very sharp point. Like it's not like sharp enough like a needle, and it's more like a cone. It's made out of metal. That's meant specifically to break automotive glass because you have to strike it in a very sharp area, like a little point. You have to basically strike it with like a nail. I don't know if you've ever seen, there's like a video of this guy who was talking about, he was on the news and he was talking about all these car break-ins, and he has this hammer, and he's talking about how, you know, you gotta be wary because someone can just do this, and he smacks the window of this car with a hammer and it just bounces off the window. Like car windows are made to withstand quite a bit of like impact.
Yeah.
And certainly when they do shatter, just like any what is it called, tempered glass, it won't become big sharp pieces. It'll become these little like pill-sized pieces.
Actually, I think it's they're usually safety glass, and it's a special kind of glass that has like a coating on the back.
Yeah, laminated.
So if you do break
laminated glass,
it doesn't. Not only does it not like become shards, it actually retains like one solid piece. It's just kind of held together, almost like plastic on one side.
But I'm talking about versus like plate glass, where when you shatter plate glass, it becomes these big shards that could slice into you.
Yeah.
When you shatter tempered glass, it becomes these little small chunks that are much more safe. And then, you laminate it and then they don't even fall apart. They just stay in a big sheet.
Exactly.
But like automotive glass, if you strike it with a hammer, it'll probably not shatter.
Yeah.
Unless you're
really
striking
hard,
it with like the nail puller
glass.
side of the hammer, then maybe it will.
Well, they have special, like you said, they have little special like hammers with a point, right, to break the glass to escape your car if you fall in the water or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to know, is this glass really like any different than every other automotive glass, or is it just automotive glass?
It's like that show we watched about the boat where they invented everything. People don't know what I'm talking about. People that are listening don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how Scientology will have on their TV channel. They'll just show you all these off the shelf parts and act like they invented all of it. That's kind of that's probably what they're doing with the glass here. Yeah, it's probably just regular automotive glass. I don't think they.
I'm guessing it's not even that much thicker or anything.
Like maybe it's a little bit thicker, and that's why they call it shatter resistant. But like all automotive glass is shatter resistant.
All right.
Okay. Well, I got a few more things to cover. I'll go over real quick, but they did stick with the no exterior door handles. Instead, you push a little button that pops the door open. A lot of people are concerned about this because, well, I don't think any of us live in any areas that this is going to be a big problem. But if you live in a place where it snows, and particularly if it like rains and then freezes, and ice can cover your whole car, I have lived in a place like this. What happens? Like you may not be able to open your Cybertruck door. There's a lot of questions of whether or not that happens, even though Tesla does claim that if you do it and you're able to, at least if you can break enough ice to get to the button, it's supposed to be strong enough to open the door regardless of the ice. But we'll see about that. Again, and then also in the original reveal of the Cybertruck, they had this ramp that pulled out of the tailgate and you can put it down. And it seemed like a pretty good idea, except maybe like super steep or something. Well, that's now out. There is no ramp in the tailgate anymore, not in any of the versions, but you can buy a tailgate ramp as a separate accessory. So that's good to know if you need that. There's a bunch of accessories you can get for it, but that was kind of just yet another thing's disappointed from the first original reveal. And then finally, when they first revealed the Cybertruck, it did not have side view mirrors. Nobody said anything about it. They didn't say anything like they were going to make it without the mirrors or anything like that, but a lot of people pointed it out. But in the ones that they're actually releasing, the ones they showed recently, they do have side view mirrors. However, you can remove the side view mirror. So it seems to be a legal thing that they have to deliver the trucks with the mirrors. But there are cameras on the side of the truck that will basically, their placement, the way they're angled, they'll pretty much show the same thing as the side view mirrors. And of course, you can see the video in the cab. I think that video shows up on the center screen if you need to look at it. So what do you guys think about that? Accessories.
What worries me about that button is not cold. I mean, I'm sure the cold is an issue, but what would worry me is like it's just more electrical parts to break. Personally, if you're talking about like opening a door, I like it to be mechanical.
Well, this is the outside. So the inside is just like, I don't know if you've ridden in other Teslas. I know my Model Y has it, at least for the front doors. There's an electrical button to open the door. But there's also an emergency mechanical pull for it. You're not supposed to use the mechanical one regularly because it needs to roll down the window a little bit so it doesn't mess up the trim of the door. That's why it has a electrical button. But if you use the emergency one, it could like screw stuff up. So, but you need it there. But if you need to get out of your car, you should use it, you know.
I also wonder what if say you're in an emergency situation and something has happened to the car, messing up the electrical, and someone needs to get you of the car. A door handle is a mechanical door handle is very useful if I come up to your car on the side of the road and I'm like, I got to get this guy out of this car.
At that point, you better hope that they have a ball bearing.
Right.
To shatter those windows.
But they're shatterproof too. Like this is, the more I hear about this, I think it's ugly, but this I'm seeing safety problems. I think the NTSB or whatever is coming after them on this. Like, if I can't get you out of your car, if your electrical system failed in a crash and I am an emergency like responder, I can't save your life.
Right.
You gonna die. Like, if your car's on fire or something, like, you think if something happened, if you get in a crash and there's a fire, you think that electrical door is still gonna work? I'm guessing no. And so what do I do from the now you're in a shatterproof fucking coffin, and
well, that's where they get the jaws of life out and they crunch your $100,000 Cybertruck into little pieces.
But the first person on the scene isn't going to have that.
No, that's true.
I mean, based on that crash test video I saw, you're probably already dead anyway. So I don't think this really matters.
Not every emergency is a front impact, right? Like, not
fair enough.
Yeah.
There are many reasons that you could be in a situation where you can't let yourself out of your car. And now somebody from the outside can't let you out of your car. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, I feel like, form over function is okay to a certain extent, but as soon as you get into the realm of like you're compromising someone's safety, that's where like you really need to prioritize function way more than how something looks. Shouldn't matter whether if it's like this thing is dangerous to your life.
There are cars that do over 200 miles an hour. They're like, they call them supercars. They are elite vehicles and they have mechanical door handles on the outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are the most expensive cars in the world. And you can and if you get in a crash in one, the emergency person who shows up can pull a door handle and open your door.
Hey, hold on. If they put handles on the Cybertruck, then they would lose like 3 miles or something on their range. You can't have that.
It would probably like a third of a mile.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would be any. Just make it a recessed handle.
I know. I mean, that's what most of the other Tesla cars has, right? Like, there's still mechanical handles to open the door.
Yeah, you won't lose any mileage.
I have a feeling
this is just so you don't have like a visible handle on the car.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to see a second iteration of this vehicle that's going to be a much more a vehicle.
Yeah.
A much more normal vehicle.
Just a vehicle. It'll be a truck, actually, because that's like like I'm sorry, you don't buy a truck. You're not like, oh, I was going to buy that truck, but it has door handles. Oh, I was going to buy that truck, but it's got many aluminum panels instead of just a few stainless steel panels.
Yeah. It's got way too many polygons for me. I like the low poly renders.
I'd buy that truck, but this one over here looks like the graphics from Tomb Raider, so I'm going to buy the Tomb Raider graphics truck. The safety stuff is outrageous. I have a feeling this is going to be a disaster for them. First of all, I think they're not going to sell as many as they think they do. They think they're going to, and I think the safety regulators are coming for them.
We'll see about that. The safety regulators. The only thing that about the how many they're going to sell is just, I feel like there's a lot of people, even though a lot of truck people point out all the problems of these Cybertrucks, I think they kind of underestimate the number of Elon Musk fanboys who want this truck.
My favorite thing is going to be because all indications are this isn't exactly the most capable off-road vehicle. So I can't wait to watch tech bros get themselves into all kinds of bad situations and watch there's no easy way to like tow this thing out of the mud, because also like, oh wait, those are ugly. Whatever method by which you would use another vehicle to tow this out of the mud, you probably can't do that either, because
I think it does have hitches.
They do have hooks and on the Cybertruck, and I think you can get separate ones, but that forgets the fact that I think the Cybertruck is, with all the batteries in, a lot heavier than other trucks. So when you're doing off-roading, that's kind of important.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's not so capable off-road, right? It might be very powerful, but it also, like, if you build an off-road vehicle, you would like having it be a lightweight is good.
Yeah.
Relatively lightweight. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why all these off-road championships are, when they do these things, it's always these Jeeps with very small, like 6-cylinder engines that always win them. It's not these vehicles with gigantic engines that win these off-road things. So I hope nobody gets hurt, and I hope they can get out of their truck. But I can't wait to see I can't wait to see all these people getting mad. They're like, I thought this was the best off-road vehicle in the world. Now I'm stuck somewhere.
Yeah. We'll see. I think most of these are, as you said, going to be bought by tech bros, and like some of them will probably take them off road, but I think the vast majority of them are going to be used to commute to and from work. maybe not even haul anything.
That's
I
fine.
mean, good luck trying to haul stuff.
And the last thing I wanted to point out, which is not about the Cybertruck, but the F-150 Lightning, which is probably its biggest competitor. I hear rumors that next year that will be getting or will be able to be used with the Tesla superchargers. People who already have them should be getting adapters in the mail, and new ones will have, I think, the appropriate plug already in there for it, you know. And that will take away one of the biggest competitive things that, you know, Tesla has over the other, EV vehicles, or over Ford vehicles now. And that is their big network of chargers. And I don't know what's going to happen now.
But I know you meant only. You said biggest, but I know you meant only. The only advantage they have.
Well, I think there are other advantages, first mover advantage, but that's beside the point. Sure, only. Now, the Tesla will still be making money off of anybody who charges at their spots, which is why they're allowing people to use their other vehicles to use their superchargers. But still, I mean, that's going to make it's not just Ford adding them in. So that's going to make them a lot, especially the F-150 Lightning is going to be a lot more demand, I think, for them. And I don't think you can get them right now anyways, but I think in the future, they're going to be even more popular.
I think the Tesla owners are going to be pissed too.
Side mirror?
I think the Tesla owners are going to be pissed too when they show up and now there's a Ford where they're supposed to be charging there and I got to wait. They're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Can you remove the side mirrors on a Lightning?
No, you can't.
You can't.
You have to have side mirrors, and the sides of the bed are flat. Like they're not like a weird angle.
I guarantee you can remove those mirrors with just one baseball bat.
You're probably right.
All right, I guess
that's all I got. I don't have any other stories because I knew that one was going to take a long time.
Thank you, everyone, for checking out the How the Tech Are You weekly tech news show. If you want to check out our other shows, you can do that on echoplexmedia.com. And if you want to support us, you can do that on eplex.store or patreon.com/echoplex. Don't remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below telling us what you like, what you didn't like. We want to hear what you think. Have a great tech and week.